Making $0 to $100,000. How did I go about doing this on my own as a self-employed business owner? In this video, we're going to get all into that, my entire story of how I did it, how you can do it too, and some of the recommendations that I have along the way. But first, we have to start with how I got put in this situation. So first of all, I had a pretty solid job here making $70,000 per year, which I thought was pretty solid for me in my mid-20s, but I was always on the lookout for a new side hustle, whether that was drop shipping, reselling things, or I got into Etsy, which was the most profitable side hustle while I had a full-time job. And if you haven't seen my video on my Etsy store and my success on Etsy, highly recommend you go check that one out. I was making $7,000 per month on Etsy while I still had my full-time job. So adding up my full-time income of $70,000 plus $7,000 per month on Etsy, I was making $154,000 per year. And actually at the time, I didn't even realize that I was making more with the side hustle than my full-time job. But I did know I was making a lot of money, so I was thinking about quitting my job, but luckily I didn't. And if you know my story on Etsy and watch that video, you know that I got banned from Etsy for some ridiculous reasons, honestly, but lost that store and income. So now I was just down to my full-time job. And during COVID, I actually got laid off in 2021. And after that, I started my full-time side hustling into a business. But I basically started with $0 because I was going all in on Etsy as my side hustle. A few months later, I was banned from Etsy, so I had essentially no income coming in after being laid off from that job. The first thing that I did after being laid off was I looked for an alternative to Etsy, and the one I found was Redbubble and then also Merch by Amazon. So I started selling basically the same products on both of those stores, which is a lot of t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, things like that you can make all print on demand. So I went full on into that, and after a couple of months I was actually able to scale that up to $1,000 per month. That was passive income because I had it all set up on the back end, had all my products and everything, and just let it run, and that still was making me $1,000 per month for a long time. But we'll talk more about that business a little later. Right now we went from $0 to $1,000 in the first 2 months. So also in that first 2 month period, I had a YouTube channel that had probably about 600 subscribers and was getting decent views, kind of a channel similar to this, talking about side hustles. And I actually converted that channel into an NFT channel, which was absolutely popping at the time. In just a few weeks of posting videos every single day on that channel, I took it from 600 subscribers to well over 1,000. I think I reached almost 5,000 at its peak, and quickly got the watch time hours up as well over 4,000 and monetized that channel. The first day having it monetized, I made $36 in ad revenue, which I thought was really good for a month. And $36 times 30 days in a month, I believe right there is $1,000. But then also these sponsorships became extremely fruitful. I remember the best sponsor I had paid me $250 per video to mention their NFT crypto conference. And the guy said after 8 hours of the first video being up, they had 80 something people sign up for an online virtual conference, and they ended up doing 8 videos at $250 per video. So that was very profitable for about a month and a half. But I had a ton of other sponsors and all that, and I would say on average was making about $2,000 a month from that. So in the first 2 months, I had scaled up 2 different kind of businesses to make a total now of $3,000. Over the next month, 3 and 4, I scaled up my Amazon from $1,000 to $2,000, the combination of Amazon and Redbubble. So now I'm up to $4,000 per month, $0 to $4,000 in probably 4 months, maybe 4.5 months. That's where I was at. But I knew I wanted another hustle business to add to this total to get me to, at least 70,000 of what I was making before I got laid off, but probably and hopefully a lot more, because that's the best thing about owning your own businesses and starting businesses is you're not capped at any amount. Amazon could scale one day to over 10,000 per month. YouTube could easily scale to over 10,000 per month. So I wanted something else. And what I found out, I watched this video of someone making $300,000 per year writing. So I got into that. I started writing on Fiverr, Upwork. I reached out to over 200 different websites I wanted to write for to try to get gigs that way. Slowly built out my writing business, which I just made a video on that you could watch after this, of how I make $50,000 per year writing part-time, a few hours a day. And that started out slow, but quickly grew, and I found a niche in sports writing. And once we got into the NFL season, I was really popping off with my writing gigs and started charging a lot and getting a lot of jobs writing. So now we're at 0 to 6 months when I started writing, but after just a few months of that, maybe month 9 in total, I was making $4,000 per month writing. So it's a really good hustle. Definitely took a lot of time throughout the day writing, 3-4 hours every single day, sometimes even writing on the weekends to keep it going, keep the clients and customers happy. But that alone was basically a full-time income. So adding that $4,000 per month to my already $3,000 a month that I had built up, those 3 businesses in total now have me at $7,000 per month, which is $84,000 a year. And that's more than I was making at my full-time job. And after just 9 months, less than a year, I was able to scale it up to $84,000 per year, which is pretty crazy, pretty awesome. And definitely the thing that I learned from my early success on Etsy and that Etsy store was to have different eggs in different baskets. Don't put it all into one thing like I did on Etsy, because I got banned from there. Obviously, that income went straight to 0. So that's why I diversified early with my businesses and already started 3 within the first 9 months. But I wasn't done starting new businesses. I went on for a 4th, and I watch a lot of YouTube, which you guys probably do too, because you're watching YouTube video right now. And the 4th business I wanted to do was resell on eBay and Poshmark and Facebook marketplaces and places like that. I watched a ton of YouTube videos of people doing this. I still do. I think it's super fun and one of the most rewarding things out of all my businesses that I do, even though it probably brings in the least amount. But I was quickly able to scale that up to $1,000 per month or more. Originally, what I had success selling was home golf simulators, which were insanely popular during COVID and still are pretty popular, but I don't think people knew the worth of them. So I was picking them up for $50 to $100, reselling them for $200, $300, $400. Also laser printers, I picked up a few. One of my best flips ever was getting a brand new laser printer for $30 on Facebook Marketplace and selling it about a week and a half later for $650 on eBay, which is pretty nuts. So I'd say overall, I still spend a few hours a week doing my reselling business, and just in that time, I can make $1,000 per month. So now we're up to $8,000 per month, or $96,000 in total. So we're still $4,000 short, and we are just coming up on the year's time. So during this time, I had been writing so much for sports betting. I've been doing all this kind of crazy content for these companies that I decided to make my own sports betting community and business. And essentially how I did that was make a YouTube channel, which has over 2,000 subscribers now, drive all those people from YouTube to Discord, and from Discord, I got them to sign up for a paid Discord community that had a ton of the people that I found in the community that were best at sports betting, giving their tips and picks and all that in the paid Discord. So that quickly scaled up to over $2,000 per month within the first couple months. So from 0 to now at the 12-month point when that scaled up to $2,000 per month, we've now hit $10,000 in profit every single month, which is actually $120,000, a little more than $100,000, but that's just a good clean number for a YouTube title and thumbnail. And at this point right now that I'm recording this, we're well over a year since I've been laid off, and I've actually been working a ton on that sports betting business, and it has popped off to way more than $2,000 per month, and it's been pretty crazy and a great experience and business too. And I never would have been into this without trying a bunch of businesses first over that year, giving myself a chance to actually make a full-time income and living without having a full-time job. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, got something out of this. I would say the top tips I would have would be to diversify your different side hustles and businesses, because you never know when one of them can just absolutely go away like Etsy did. And eventually I just let go of Redbubble as well, which is another place I was selling print on demand products. So overall, just try a bunch of different businesses, Find one that works for you. Even if you find something that works for you, like I did writing, don't get too comfortable with writing and making $50,000 a year from writing and just sticking that. Keep trying to do the next best thing, the next bigger thing, like I did with the sports betting business. And obviously it's gone really well, a lot more profitable than writing and more fun work that I enjoy than actually just sitting down and writing for 5 hours a day. So also you have to find something that you enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Forgot to mention that my YouTube income from that NFT channel actually went down to basically zero, but then I started a new channel on the sports betting stuff that has made me, through sponsorships and ad revenue, more than 2,000, plus the subscription business was that 2,000 plus, now a lot more. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I have a ton of videos on these businesses that I've already talked about on my channel, so I'll link them here at the end card for you guys to go watch. And also just check out all the other videos on the channel. I just talk about side hustles, how you could turn those side hustles into real income like I have been doing. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.